Well, how'd the film look, Coach, when you got back Sunday? Early, by the way, thanks to me.
Exactly. So, no, we went back and watched the tape after we got back, and it really showed what we thought it would. I thought we really played a very good football game as far as the things that we were up against and the things that we went through last week, and to see the players play, execute the plan, good technique, good fundamentals, and they executed for 4 quarters. So I was very pleased. Thought we played well in the offensive line with how things went for us. I thought the execution. I'll even go back to the defensive line. I think those two respective groups really probably were the stalemate of the game as far as how things came out of that, because we played well at both ends.
You talked for weeks and weeks before the season started how you're going to have your second and third teamers ready to play, and that played out in the offensive line. And nobody played in the same spot they did the week before. I mean, how proud of your staff and your athletes can you be for the effort they put forth on Saturday?
No, there's no question that was a difference, and I think watching other people go through this back in the fall really made you prepare in a way that should these things happen, that you had the next guy ready. And as we tell our team, I don't think you're going to beat COVID and keep it from within your football team. I think it's how you adapt and can get other people on the football field and still execute the plan. When you don't find out who you're going to lose until a Thursday or Friday. So that's why I was really pleased with our staff, particularly pleased with our players, because there's got to be a communication there when you lose a guy and you insert another guy. That communication is critical, and we did that, and we did that very well that day.
Will it be the same group of guys this week, or are you going to get any of those linemen back?
Yet to be determined this week. I think that'll unfold. If you ask me that question closer to Wednesday or Thursday, I might have a better answer for you. But we'll continue down the road with that group right now. I just felt they played good, and the name probably to mention is, Chase Aarons playing center for us. What he did in that particular game, and at the beginning of the week there was no way that he was the plan to be the starter in that particular game. But by the end of the week, and he takes 70+ snaps as a starting center, and really did a nice job. And so that's why the other guys around him had to do very good. But Chase's mental prep has been always consistent since the day he got here, that he prepares as a starter. And when he did get his start, he made the most of his opportunity and played very well.
Mark, what's been the key to your defense getting off to such a good start in these first 2 games?
Well, we've got a little bit more experience on defense, so we're doing some things there. But we just wanted to line up last week, not knowing what other people have during this time period. So we were fairly vanilla in what we did, and but the players had to execute. It doesn't matter what the plan is until you win that line of scrimmage, and until you tackle and tackle clean. That's the difference of any defensive scheme. So we've been. After that first half of that first game, we've tackled a lot better, and just through the communication and the experience of the defense, I think has helped us get off to a decent start, and that now we're going to get tested again this week by a very good football team.
What gives you confidence that the success you found in the run game on Saturday will be able to continue from what you saw during the game, in the film, and talking with your staff afterwards?
Oh, the run game's going to alter and change each week based off your opponent. It's everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and how you scheme that, how you plan that, and how you play against it kind of determines the outcome of how well you're going to do in the run game or the pass game for that matter. So, we're going to have to take a hard look at what Illinois State does. I know they have a very quality defensive football team. Coach Spack always has his guys ready to play on defense. Because they're just tough. They're always sound, and they always play hard. So that's kind of been the stalemate of their team as well. Is how they play, and they're a very tough football team.
Will had a good game, but I think he would even say that there are some throws out there that he should have made that he didn't. What's it going to take for the offense to take its next step? Because certainly from game 1 to game 2, it took a step forward. how does Will and the offense take that next step?
Yeah, Will needs to continue to improve. I mean, he improved from game 1 to game 2. Still, there's a lot of things that we had to correct from this particular game within our offense, within our offensive line play, Will, our defense. So there's still a lot of corrections to be made. I think we did a nice job in the majority of the downs, but the deeper you get into this and the longer you play, the more you have to be sound every down, and you can't get away with a couple errors here and there. And so we just have to continue to get better. And in particular, Will handles that football every down. So the decisions he makes and how quick he makes them sometimes, and the decisions he makes does make a difference of the outcome of the play. So he needs to continue to buckle down and prepare. And that's kind of the, whether it's Will or everybody, that's the common around here. But Will in particular has to do a great job in prep.
Mark, did you get an opportunity to look at the play with Quan catching that shoulder from the coach? Youngstown's said that coach won't be on the sideline for the remainder of the season. I'm curious to get your thoughts after having an opportunity to look at it and know what Youngstown State's done about it.
Well, they took action. That was a key, and I don't think they hesitated at all in that decision of at least some type of ramifications, consequences for that action. And it was what you saw. It's what I saw. I did get a clean look at what happened, and it was theirs to make a decision on and some type of action, and they did. So that's for them to decide, and we just have to take care of the players, take care of the safety of the players. We put a lot into that, when we're between the lines, out there practicing and out there playing. Outside the lines, it's assumed that we'll all take the safety of the player to heart. And I think through the consequences of this that Youngstown has done that.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Coach, out of the running game, tell me what you like about Dom. He looks like he kind of fits that mold that you want out of a running back.
Yeah, Dom's been a great addition just because, the way he plays, but even more importantly for me, it's what he does when he's not the tailback. So there's only one tailback that can be on the ground at a time out there. And when you come off, you have to have that mindset that when it's your turn, when it's your opportunity, you got to make the most of it. And he experienced that this weekend. He was out there, and then Hoosman got hot, and when Tyler got hot, Dom had to remain tuned into the game because Dom made a difference in the game at the end. But in between the first quarter and fourth quarter, a lot of it was Tyler. So, but when the chips were down and we had to make some plays, Dom was one that made those plays. So. He's growing as a player, he's maturing as a player here, but that experience is big. He hadn't scored a touchdown since his freshman year at Kansas. So it was a while since he's been in that end zone, and I know that was important for him and special for him to get back in the end zone and be the player that he came here to be.
And then you grabbed your 100th conference win a couple days now to reflect on that. What's that mean to you? And I know there's a lot of people that have been involved in all those.
Well, that was the key. I did not know that was the 100th win until Butcher was the one that actually told me on the sideline when the game was over towards the end. And the thing that we all need to take from that 100th win is the number of players that made a difference. I've been contacted by a number of them, and through that, my quick text back is always, you were a part of a lot of those wins, and I'm thanking them for getting those 100 wins instead of, them saying, congratulations stuff. I'm thanking them. It gives me an opportunity to thank them for the wins that they got for us over all those years. And there's a lot of those guys over a 5-year time span that have tallied up a lot of those wins for us. So it's more of a memory of the players and a tip your hat to the players that have done all that work, as well as the coaches. Had a lot of assistant coaches come through here and been a part of that, and as well as administrators and things like that. It takes a body of work now to get down to do that for that long, and we've had a great experience here, and a lot of great people here have helped us win those games.
Well, congrats, Coach, on 100. That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
Coach, Coach, Illinois State's offense, they committed 7 turnovers on Saturday. Is that something you take a look at and go, hey, there might be some things we can get into some uncomfortable situations, maybe force some of those ourselves, or is that just an anomaly? You just don't see a team commit 7 turnovers in a game?
Well, I think when you get into this, I think if you probably went to his press conference, he's looking at that first game and being off for a year and a half before they played their first game, because that was their first outing, because they had that first game get canceled on them. So I do know this. I know how teams change and better themselves from game 1 to game 2. And, I think we're entering a football game right now that we've got a football team that's very good, that made a couple errors that will be corrected, and I think we're going to get quite a football game in here on Saturday.
What Bryce Jefferson? I think he started 3 playoff games, but that was maybe his 4th career start. What do you like about him as a quarterback for them?
Oh, there's a reason they played him in the playoffs, and there's a reason they went as deep in the playoffs as they did. He was playing very well. They were as good as any team in the country at the end of last season. So we all got a first look at him this particular spring, this last weekend. But if you go back and look at the tail end of last season, those last 5, 6, 7 games of that stretch, I mean, he was the difference for him. So, same thing. You got to give your due diligence to Illinois State because of being off that year and a half and coming off that for that first football game. So I don't put a lot of credence into what happened or how it happened. I just know that there'll probably be a lot of improvement this weekend.